Hello and welcome to the Museum of Dead Wifery. Now, I found this while scrolling through a very unique game page on itch.io. Please excuse our mess while we deal with the worms. Okay, I don't really know what this game is about. But I assume it's a museum about dead wives. So I don't know if this classifies as scary, but it's certainly scaring me. Welcome to the Virtual Museum of Dead Wifery, brought to you by the good people at Finance Gamers United. Truth to Power, Fun to Finance. Who is that? Soon enough, emotional gaming was all the rage in enlightened circles, but not all could see the light. The so-called public looked away in fear when confronted with this revolutionary development. Is this? I don't think that's a language. The cowards they were. They retreated to the ivory towers of the gamosphere, but would not last for long. Our story begins with automated emotion machines, machines that make you feel automatically. The first automated emotion machines were crafted by the ancient Egyptians as grave goods. Herodotus writes of tiny weeping men who prostrate themselves before the dead. As with many things in history, we have no way of really knowing what he was talking about. However, recent findings at the Memphite necropolis offer one possible explanation. In one tomb, we find figurines of mourners mechanically bowing before a sarcophagus. In another, a crying man being repeatedly crushed beneath a giant saddled foot. Could these be the tiny weeping men of Herodotus? However simple they may seem, we must recognize this first step towards what could be, one day, a major financial sector. What is it? I see. Thank you. I won't be investing in your crypto scheme, unfortunately, but why am I allowed to do that? What? Okay. All right. Oh. Come. Read the exhibits left as a result of hearing what became relevant in the substrates. The correct reading order is from tensile to comprehensive, and from boulder to colloid. If you reach the end of a course, lay a closer on one side, but lay a 3/4 bat on the stretcher course. Join a header next to the header, and a quion next to the header in a header course. If you assess the space for the 3/4 bat as being region of high seismic risk, remake the space within the spiritual plane where giants are harmoniously begotten. After this, reverse your reading order. Read from comprehensive to tensile and from colloid to boulder, then begin the next course. We have carved arrow-shaped markers to guide you in your construction. If you accidentally stray from the course, do not fear. Close your eyes and press your forehead repeatedly against the spacebar until the dialogue sounds stop. Then demolish your untrue masonry and begin again. Soon your trowels will be on to intuitive knowledge, and to inspirations, and to solutions for the vibrations of material objects, like thread that binds seeds to the changing of the poles taller into the sunshine. 418. That's my name. Don't say that. That's. Hey, don't let them mislead you. You'll miss all the lore. Okay, lady. I'll go this way. Then, are you Rick Astley? August 21st, 2007, a date that would forever live in infamy. On this day, a young Joe Grown would unleash his first creation upon the unexpected public. Enter wives and husbands. In this love letter to retro platformers, we see a well-worn formula turn on its head. Abducted by the Demon King, Joe Groan is mercilessly tickled by his lackeys. It's up to Mrs. Groan to rescue her husband. Risen from the grave, she must traverse 8 exciting levels and defeat his captors before backtracking through all 8 levels to her tomb in the heartfelt final. Early players cannot appreciate its intricacies, focusing on the disproportionate amount of time spent on tickling minigames instead of savoring its delicious subversion of the classics. However, although morally simplistic compared to his later works, it modeled the themes which would later define his time would come. Thank you, sir. I won't be investing in your new album, however. 6 months later, the Great Meaning Wars were raged throughout the gamosphere, leading forum personality Bernard Robert mobilized his faction. Incorporating ideas overheard while working as a programmer at a day trading company, he devised an airtight formula for objectively defining the emotional value of objects in games. If, for example, a cherry is worth 1 penny of emotion, then a dead lackey must be worth 10 cents. If a dead lackey is worth 10 cents, comparatively, a dead wife would be valued at the going rate of a gold billion. It was truly a revolutionary move. To this day, his ideals are the basis of all modern art games. I don't think these arrows make any sense. And I'm really confused as to what he's trying to tell me. Okay. In our enlightened era, it may be hard to believe, but the ideals of B. Robert were not the norm. Back then, the primordial caverns of gaming culture were populated by ingrates, happy to collect coins and bang their clubs over anything unappealing to their unrefined tastes. Speaking to his inherent goodness, he tolerated cavemen and all, yet he still needed evidence to back up his claims. Searching platform for the tags dead wife, he got only 1 result, but that result would make history. Posting wives and husbands at every opportunity, B. Robert had found the object which validated his theories, and soon it caught on. The debate died down as this singular work illustrated the potential gaming held. What? Until the evangelizing of B. Robert, Wives and Husbands had only received 14 downloads in its first 6 months. Suddenly, though, it was flooded with attention from high-profile industry figures. Joe Groan, an outsider to the ways of the gamosphere, was dumbfounded by this newfound success. Until he began receiving emails, he had no idea what emotional gaming was. Yet he knew one thing. People now liked his game. Receiving his first interview request, he jumped at the opportunity to explain himself. Let us take a look back at an excerpt from this groundbreaking event. So what is it that inspires you to make games? Well, I really like jumping. I like horror movies. It seemed natural to combine these things. So, the dead wife thing, very moving. Was that also a natural extension of your feelings? It feels so personal, almost like you really knew it. Natural? I mean, I guess so. Astonishing! Platforming aside, it explains so much. Your yearning for your lost wife brought to the screen, reaching out from the grave. Truly astonishing. What? This moment that would both uplift him and in the end become his undoing. Emails poured in asking to know more about his dead wife begging for another game, one which explored his true feelings for her. Although still unsure within himself, he heard his public. They wanted more. This was the beginning of a landmark career. What is it? Am I supposed to climb on this? I don't think so. What? What are you? The subject is a sale idea implies that the subject's avatar is healthier sales. Like for one individual, one vice. Unless the sales are being made into an ecosystem of children, a juvenile mind is practically an animation device. I don't think you should be allowed in a public building, sir. I'm gonna go now. What is this? Groans wake. Okay. Wife dead. You must watch over her body as pesky neighbors wander your house trying to pay their respects. Armed with an automatic rifle and over 100 magical traps, it's up to you to fend them off until a hearse arrives. Okay. A warm cup of Joe. I think I want a warm cup of Joe after seeing this. Dog Grown Z, a real-time pet simulation. Joe Grown is transformed by a mad scientist into a half-man, half-dog creature. He is doted on by his wife and her new husband, Duke Nukem. Notable for its extensive microtransactions, Grown must be fed a $10 doggy token every hour or dies, crediting the player $1,100 for a doggy funeral. I think the arrow is pointing this way, so take my wife, please. Monster Taming RPG. Always a fan of the Sunday funnies, Grown adopted gags from the Lockhorns as a gauntlet of domestic-themed RPG battles. Due to a fatal misunderstanding, it was taken this depicted his actual relationship, leading to increased scrutiny of his personal life. What? My little wife reborn. Is it a doll? Is it a game? Is it alive? Promising something far richer and more meaningful than the brain-dead digital toys currently on offer. At the time, it provided the most realistic corpse simulation on the market. Twitches when poked with induced electric prod. I don't think this museum should exist. I don't think this man warrants this museum. Not to say he didn't make good things, but I'm just saying. Okay. Adapting to his newfound success in the art world, Joe tried his hardest to please. He realized if one dead wife game could generate such interest, why stop there? Why not an endless hallway populated by wives, each more dead than the last? This was the origin of his greatest game. When Paku Dead Wife, you are presented with a choice, wife or no wife. Without wife, there is no wife. Yet without wife, you are eventually guaranteed dead wife. The raw power of this question took the very foundations of gaming. Critics trembled, feebly grasping, where are the keys? Where are the coins? There were no keys. There were no coins. From now on, there would only be wife or no wife. It became the sensation of the year. People talked about it, artists talked about it. Somewhere in there it even got an award or two. From thereafter, nobody could talk about games without a mention of When Paku Dead Wife. Yet what Joe Grown had in fame, he lacked in fortune. He needed a way to monetize. Why can you jump like that, sir? In taking up a cause B, Robert as his own, Grown found a practical application of his ideals. He would pin a hard monetary value to his iconic dead wives. Grown took down the free-to-pay version of When Paku Dead Wife. The top corridor was removed, the lower pane widened. The wives were dispersed. At the start screen, the player was required to input their bank account information. Any artist who values his own work, he charged. As any artist who values his own work, he charged. Navigating a twisting passage of wives, the player's account is credited $10 each time one is touched. $10, one emotion. This was the cry heard throughout the gaming world. A clear value with a clear response. He had perfected the emotional game. Some felt he took the ideas of Roarbards too literally, but their petty complaints were drowned out by the acclaim of the masses. Streamers flocked to the new version, building followings on their strength and avoiding dead wives. Some could go a whole hour without a single wife bopped. A thriving betting community speculated on their favorite streamers. Which will bop a wife first? How long it can go one go without bopping a wife? And the streamers would bet against them. People forgot about other games. Money was to be made. However, Joe Brown had not just made his fortune. By perfecting the emotional game, he had set the stage for the next logical step: finance gaming. This all leads to the gift shop. We don't go there anymore. Well, I want to go there. Not you again. Not you. To be healthy, to be wealthy, you can move into coding or make into commercial brands. The output from your process can be your own freedom. That's the essence of gamification. I don't like the ideas you're presenting me. No. I'm not gonna touch that yet. Or maybe I am, because this doesn't go anywhere. Oh. Okay. The brains which give us the genius. John grown, Jill grown, brain tissue in canopic jar. Oh, I can just... I love this. This is amazing. This is too good. What is this? What? You are but a simple neural impulse, simply pulsing through the mind of an artist. The mind of an artist is haunted by horrid apparitions. For the first 18 years of life, it accumulates parental figures. But upon entering adulthood, one by one they are replaced by cultural opponents, yearly like the rings of a tree. By the age of 36, most artists have completely forgotten their parents and are set in a loop, swatting at the same phantoms till death. This is what we call psychology. Obey law and be good. Remember to wash behind your ears. Why won't you wash behind your ears? Buy war bonds. Buy war bonds. Oh, this used to be this makes sense. Winners don't use drugs. I don't like the mind of an artist. This isn't very good at all. Presenting a dramatization produced by the Craft Playhouse, 21 players of The Sorrows of Young Grown. My horrible son. It is the night of the charity gala, yet you sit here playing these games. Why do you do these things? But mother, I do not wish to be at the charity gala. I only wish to gain XP. You have time to kill 1,000 kobolds, yet no time to study the law. No, father. The only law I recognize is that of good design. Just you wait, not only will I pay the bills, I will make grown men cry. Already you make me cry. Gonna get dressed, we are going to the charity gala. Yes, there's no time for these childish games. What? Why has this been enacted? Why has this been made? What deranged mind has produced? Not you. I don't like you. You scare me every time. Oh, you won't believe it, but I just love the beach. It was real nice of them to build this for me. But I really wish they'd let me leave this awful place once in a while. If it's your planet, if you can oversee all the work, the people, then you can nurture all the purses open.